Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nahh B podcast. I'm your host, Nahh B. This is going to be a post-review episode of the Kattar versus Holloway event that took place yesterday on January 16th, 2021. Before we get started, though, just want to take a quick second to say if you guys love the content, enjoy it, and is a fan of what I do, please leave a thumbs up below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Any little bit of support helps me, helps the channel out, and yeah, I greatly appreciate it. Also want to give a quick shout out to my two sponsors, starting with TK Sports Bar and Restaurant, located in Danbury, Connecticut, and Champs Boxing Club, also located in Danbury, Connecticut. To get started on the video, though, I'm going to go up the full card results, starting with the prelims, and then review just the main card fights, as I only did a breakdown for the main card fights on the last episode. So on the prelims, the first fight was a featherweight bout between Jacob Kilburn taking on Austin Lingo, and Lingo won that by unanimous decision. And then it was a welterweight bout between David Zawada, and he took on Ramazan Emeev, and Emeev won that by a split decision. After that, it was a women's bantamweight bout between Sarah Moras, and she took on Vanessa Mello, and Vanessa Mello won that by unanimous decision. And after that, it was the featured prelim bout, which was a heavyweight bout between Carlos Felipe. He took on Justin Tafa, and Felipe won that by a split decision. The only prelim fight I'm gonna talk about is that really quick. That was a robbery. That was bad. That was a bad decision. I thought Tafa did more than enough to win that fucking fight. I don't know what the judges were watching, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Going into the main card, though, it started off with a middleweight bout between Punahele Soriano taking on Dusko Todorovic, and Soriano won that by KO in round 1, and with punches. After a very slow prelim card of all decisions, the first 3 fights on this main card was all KO finishes. Nuts. But Punahele won that via KO in round 1 with punches. And after that was another middleweight bout between Joaquin Buckley, and he took on Alessio Di Chirico. I'm still fucking his name up. Alessio Di Chirico. Alessio Di Chirico. Fucking A. I don't even know if I'm fucking saying it right. Anyways, Di Chirico. After that was the middleweight bout between Joaquin Buckley taking on Alessio Di Chirico. Alessio Di Chirico. Alessio Di Chirico. Fuck. Alright. Alessio Di Chirico. And Alessio Di Chirico won that by KO in round 1. With a head kick. And if you've seen my my preview and my breakdown and prediction episode, I have to give this dude an apology later on in this episode, because I completely shit on him in the previous episode. But yeah, Di Chirico won that by KO in round 1 with a mean fucking head kick. After that, it was a welterweight bout between Santiago Ponzinibbio taking on Li Jingliang, and Li Jingliang won that with a KO in round 1 with punches. Brutal. And after that was another welterweight bout between Carlos Condit taking on Matt Brown, and Condit won that by unanimous decision. And that was the co-main event. And the main event was the featherweight bout between Calvin Kattar taking on Max Holloway. And Max Holloway won that via UD. And when I say UD, I don't mean unanimous decision, I mean unanimous destruction. Yes, we'll get into that. Alright. So, starting with the first fight on the main card, Soriano versus Todorovic. This was the only fight that I predicted down to the fucking T. I always say styles makes fights, and this matchup was a bull versus matador kind of match, you know what I mean? Until it ended. I said Dusko had a very bad fucking habit of, putting his hands down when he's bobbing and weaving and shit. And against a lot of his opponents, he was successful. The issue with this opponent is this bull is fast as fuck. And he should have known that all that bobbing and weaving shit, it was gonna catch up to him at some point, sooner or later. Especially against someone like Soriano. And that's exactly what fucking happened. Every single strike that Soriano threw was with everything that he fucking had. And at the same time, he had speed with every single one of those shots. This dude's big, but he could, he's a fast motherfucker. I mean, of course, who knows how it could have gone if it went into the second round, into the next round, because, with Soriano's cardio, after throwing all those fucking shots, because in the Octagon interview after the fight, he was definitely breathing hard, but of course, it could have been an adrenaline dump. But, yeah, regardless, though, Soriano's speed mixed with his fucking power is what got it done, and, near the end of the round. I believe there was, 20 seconds left or something. And, he started stunning Dusko near the middle of the round. That's when it, started to fucking go downhill for him. And then eventually dropped him the first time. Dusko, he got up and was trying to survive that first time, but he was on wobbly legs and you could fucking tell. And then eventually he just kept getting fucking caught with big fucking shots and just got brutally fucking finished up against the cage. And yeah, that was the end of the fucking fight. That was the only fight that I predicted right down to the fucking T, though. What I would like to see next for both fighters, for Dusko, some time off to recover, man, because he took a lot of fucking power shots before he went down. Just to recover. Take some time off. But when he comes back, possibly have a fight against someone like, Charles Byrd, unranked on a losing streak. I'm honestly not even sure if Byrd is still on the roster. According to the UFC website, when I look into, the fighters list, it says that he's still on there and says that he's still active. So, someone like that, I would like to see to get him back in it. But yeah, if he's not there, then, someone in the same, in the same playing field, unranked and coming off of a loss. For Puna, though, obviously, I want to see him stay busy because he took little to no shots this fight. And, because this fight, it's been a year before this fight since he last fought. So, I would like to see him stay busy. Who I'd like to see him fight would be the man who won this next fight that I'm about to fucking break down. Which was the middleweight bout between Joaquin Buckley taking on Alessio Di Chirico. Every time I fucking read his name, it comes out different in my fucking head. Anyways, so I picked Buckley to win, and I picked him to win by spectacular fashion and have an amazing performance, and I completely shit on Alessio, as I said earlier in my preview, my breakdown and prediction episode before this video. And I also thought Alessio would end up getting cut right after the fight. And holy shit, was I wrong. And Alessio, I apologize. I am sorry. I'm sorry.
We are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry.
But man, not really much to talk about, when it comes into the fight because it only went for under half a round. And Buckley, going into the fight, Buckley looked like his usual bouncy and explosive self, but that's all he was doing. He was moving more than he was throwing, and he only connected with 3 total strikes before he got knocked out. Alessio, on the other hand, he was picking his fucking shots from the outside and just popping Buckley, while he was moving at the same time. And just getting right out of the way before Buckley was able to, capitalize with his power shots. And while Buckley was leaning back and forth, he leaned way too much to the left side, and that's when Alessio timed a perfectly fucking thrown head kick with his right leg. He didn't even have to get his leg all the way up because of how far down Buckley was leaning. And it was pretty much a fucking body kick that connected into Buckley's head. You know what I mean? Just connected straight to his fucking dome piece and fucking knocked him the fuck out. He just crumbled him and got the finish. And, when I was watching, I literally looked at my phone just for a second. I looked away just for a fucking second, and I hear Anik and DC go fucking nuts. And I look up, and Alessio's just, getting off of him, and he just starts breaking down and crying because he knew if he lost that fight, he was probably going to get released like I thought it was gonna happen. But shit, man. Again, I want to deeply apologize to Alessio for my breakdown and for completely shitting on him.
We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. We're sorry. I'm deeply sorry. Sorry.
But as for what I want to see next for Buckley, I say just give the fans what they want and make a fight, like a catchweight fight. If neither of the dudes want to go up or down a weight class, make a catchweight fight between him and James Krause. Clearly they have some animosity towards each other and they want to fight each other. So, why not make that shit happen? And they both want to fight, you know what I'm saying? So they're both down. Why not do it? If that is, not a possibility, then I would like to see Buckley fight someone like Eric Anders. If Anders is still at middleweight, because I know he took a light heavyweight fight recently. Not recently, but not too long ago. If he's still at middleweight, that'd be a fun fucking fight. As for Alessio, though, like I said at the end of the last fight that I just reviewed, I want to see him fight Soriano. That'd be fun. Both of these dudes, like I said, they took little to no damage. Why the fuck not? You know what I mean? And you could do it soon, because they both just fought same night, little to no damage. A lot of cards coming up that needs fights on there. Set that shit up. Perfect timing to do it. The next fight was the welterweight bout between a returning Santiago Ponzinibbio taking on Jingliang. I picked Santiago to win in my preview and my breakdown and prediction episode. But if you watched it, you would remember me saying it was not a confident pick at all. And the reasoning was literally because of how it fucking went down. Santiago came into this fight after a very long layoff. And fighting a guy like Jingliang, who's just a fucking madman, that's a very risky fucking fight for Santiago to take. I knew one or two things were going to happen this fight. Santiago was going to come in and, just pick up where he left off and look as good as he ever has. Or he was going to come in and, look exactly like someone who was on a long fucking layoff. The timing being off and whatnot. And, it was the latter that fucking happened. Every time Santiago tried to pressure and tried to figure out the timing of Jingliang, Lee would not allow it and would just throw every single time he sent Santiago get too close. And every time he did, Santiago had to reset and try again, and it was just more of the same throughout the fucking first round. Near the last 30 seconds of the round, though, Santiago decided to finally go for it and get fucking reckless, and throw a fucking combo, but he got sloppy and did not get out of the way or fucking circle out right after he threw. And like I said, Jingliang, every time Santiago got too close, Jingliang threw his fucking hooks, his looping ass fucking crazy hooks, and did it again here. And Santiago, like I said, he didn't move out of the way or get his hand up or anything, and Jingliang fucking connected with a fucking amazing fast looping left hook that completely crumbled Santiago, and Jingliang got on top, cracked him one more good time, and, the fight was stopped. Jingliang showed a lot of respect after the fight. He showed a lot of, he was worried. He was worried for Santiago after a knockout like that. That was really cool to see. I love seeing shit like that. But, yeah, man, what a fucking finish. What a goddamn punch that he timed perfectly. He didn't even time it, honestly. Like I said, he just threw every time Santiago threw. Santiago his defense was just not there tonight. And, his timing was definitely not there. Santiago was protesting a little bit after the stoppage, but I'm pretty sure after he watched the replay, he can't fucking argue it. Amazing counter shot by Jingliang. I want to see what I want to see next for both fighters. For Santiago, take a few months off, and then get back in there against someone more slow-paced and, less wild than Jingliang, just so Santiago could, get back to his real fight timing, get that back and, sharpen up a little bit more. Coming into a buzzsaw of a fight like this one was a huge fucking mistake, and I had a big feeling. I had a big fucking feeling. That's why when I picked Santiago, I was not confident at all. But, it's the fucking nature of the sport. This is what fucking happens. But yeah, I'd like to see him fight someone like Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos, someone that Li Jingliang actually fought and beat. I'd love to see that fight. That's a fight I've always wanted to see anyways, and this is probably like the perfect time to fucking make that fight. As for Li Jingliang, I would love to see him fight Vicente Luque. Just think about it. Just stop and fucking think about that fight and how it would probably go. More than likely, it would be a fucking complete war. So yeah, that's what I want to fucking see. It'd be fucking complete madness all around, dude. Both fighters take shots to give him, and just crazy motherfuckers once that fucking cage door closes. It could easily be a headline of a future Fight Night event. Easily. That's just a fan favorite matchup. Just stop and think about how crazy that fucking fight would be. Anyways. Alright, the next fight was the co-main event, welterweight fight between two legends of the sport, in my eyes at least, and Carlos Condit and Matt Brown. I picked Brown to win this fight with a grinded out style, with takedowns, ground control, and no, Condit got the victory. He had to do what he had to do to win. Brown did get some takedowns, didn't do anything with them, unfortunately, though. It just ended up being a complete old school dogfight. You know what I mean? It was just a scrap. It wasn't any like shot for shot kind of scrap, but it was an old school kind of scrap, gritty and dirty. It was a fun fight. If you're like a real enthusiast of the fucking sport, then this was a fun fight to watch. But yeah, I picked Brown to win this fight and control the fight, but it was Condit that controlled the whole fight for the most part. Some say Brown won the first round when he got the takedown and ended on top in the end of the round. But when he was on top, he was getting hit. Condit was hitting him with shots from the bottom more times than Brown was getting shots off on top. So you know what I mean. I don't think he won that first round. Between the second and third round, the whole fight was more of the same all around. But between the second and third round, it seemed like Brown had nothing left. Every time he had control of Condit, he would either, get reversed or just hold on to Condit and do nothing. Both fighters had their moments, with their usual elbows up against the fence, here and there. Like I said, if you're an enthusiast of the sport, it was a great fight. Other than that, I said in the breakdown and prediction episode that it's very possible this fight ended up being how it was, not super entertaining, just gritty and dirty, and that's pretty much what it was. And Condit was the one who was able to out-pressure Brown and get the unanimous decision. I'm just happy this fight happened because it was supposed to happen many times before, and finally got it out the way. What I'd like to see next for both fighters, for Brown, I would honestly like to see him probably go back into retirement. And that's not a knock against him at all, you know what I mean? I don't think he has much of anything left to prove, you know what I mean? And this new generation of fighters are just evolving every fucking day and so fast that I don't think he's going to be able to keep up, you know what I mean? In my honest opinion, at least. As for Condit, though, he's kind of like in the same boat. But after coming in, after having 2 wins in a row now, he's not going to want to stop. He wants to have more now. But like I said about Brown, the evolution is happening so fucking fast. If Condit fights one of these younger up and coming fighters, he might just go back to his losing streak. You know what I mean? If he fights another pioneer type fighter, you know what I mean, like how himself and Brown is, and how Court McGee is, like his last fight that he won, then fuck it. See if BJ Penn's available. I'm obviously kidding, but yeah, that's that for that fight. All right. I'm going to take a quick sip before I get into this main event. It's good stuff. Alright, so the next fight was the featherweight main event between Calvin Kattar taking on the former champ Max Holloway. I picked Calvin Kattar to win this fight in a competitive matchup. By decision, and oh my god, was I dead fucking wrong. Besides the Eliseo fight that I broke down and and predicted, I have never been so dead wrong in my fucking life here, dude. Max won this by UD. Like I said earlier, that's not by unanimous decision. That's by unanimous destruction. Bro, easily the greatest single fight performance I have ever fucking seen. And I have seen damn near every single UFC fight to date. And I'm not joking when I say that. I have UFC 1 all the way to UFC 187 on DVD. And obviously have watched every fight since then leading up to now. Dude, holy shit. Max came into this shit on a mission. A mission to shut motherfuckers like me up who possibly thought it's, could be a possibility that Max was slowing down a little bit. You know what I mean? Dead fucking wrong, dude. A motivated Max on a mission is a completely different animal. I thought maybe in the first round they would both try to feel each other out a little bit before it eventually becomes into a brawl. Nope. Max was the one doubling, tripling up every single time Kattar threw a single punch. Every single time Kattar tried to get his combos off, Max would fucking stop him from doing it just by throwing his volume of fucking 3, 4, 5 punches right after Kattar's shots or in between his shots. That first round, Max threw 108 total strikes and landed 56, right? And that was just a fucking mere sign of what was to come. Round 2, more of the same, except Max threw 160 fucking 4 total strikes this second round. And landed 89 of them shits. So that's 54% accuracy. Kattar, he tried to get a takedown, unsuccessful. Round 3, again, more the fucking same as the first 2 rounds, but Max, it seemed that he took his foot off the pedal slightly and fucking threw 139 total strikes, like landing 75 of them, and again over 50% accuracy. Round 4 starts, and you think Max, after those first 3 rounds of all that volume, he would slow down just a little bit. Nah, B, this motherfucker throws 191 more fucking strikes in the 4th fucking round. 191 fucking strikes. And he lands, bro, this is the crazy part. He lands 141 of those fucking strikes, bro. That's 73 fucking % of those fucking strikes that Kattar absorbed in that fucking round. That's fucking insane. I need to take another sip. That's fucking insane. And on top of that, all fight, Max was landing amazing body shots, dude. Amazing body shots. But in that 4th fucking round, dude, Kattar took 45 body shots in that fucking round. 45 body shots in that fucking round. Oh, my goodness. Round 5, Max was still fighting at the same fucking pace as round 1. No difference to the same volume of fucking strikes, and threw 142 strikes in that 5th fucking round. And landed 84 of those fucking strikes. Almost at a 60% accuracy. It was at 59%. All fucking fight, every round, if you look very fucking closely, you can see Max going through the Super Saiyan stages. If you look very fucking closely. Super Saiyan 1 all the way to Super Saiyan God. Round 5 is when he went Super Saiyan God mode, dude. And he just fucking lost it, dude. A lot of people, before the fight, coming into the fight, including myself, was hyping up Kattar's boxing as, one of the best boxers in the UFC. And he still is. You know what I mean? He just took on the better fucking boxer, apparently. Max took that shit personal, like Jordan. And he looked at DC and the commentators screaming at them that he was the best boxer in the UFC. All while still hating Kattar with no-look shots. And dodging Kattar's shots at the same time, dude, while staring at DC. All while staring at DC. Probably the most complete badass thing I've ever seen in the UFC since Anderson Silva's knockout of Forrest Griffin. But holy fucking shit, man. The mauling ends. Like I said, Max won by unanimous destruction. Not decision, by unanimous destruction. Scorecards were 43-50, 43-50, and 42-50. I have never been one for math and have never been good at it unless it involves money. So I have no fucking clue how many 10-8 rounds or 10-7 rounds there was in this shit. If you can break it down for me, leave a comment and explain it. But holy shit, dude. Easily the single most greatest performance I have ever seen by a fighter thus far. I thought it would be a competitive fight, and it was not at all. Of course, all praise goes to Max for the performance, right? But at the same time, we need to stop and give a lot of respect to Calvin Kattar, because he is so fucking tough. Dude, the shots he was taking and the number of shots he took is insane, and he never got dropped once. He ate 117 body shots and still tried to fight his ass off. He had his moments, he landed some good shots, but he just could not keep up with the volume of Max. Like I said in the breakdown, you just can't finish Max. You just can't. I don't know what it is, what's in his head, but he will not let up until he breaks you. There was more than a few times the fight could have been stopped, and I mean more than a few times. But Herb is gonna Herb. Herb is gonna Herb. And he ain't gonna stop herbing. But yeah, dude, huge respect to Kattar. Tough son of a bitch, man. Holy shit. And I've always been a fan. Much bigger fan now after this fight. What I'd like to see going forward, Kattar needs to take a lot of time off. Period. I don't really care to, match him up with someone right now. He just needs a lot of time off right now. And probably just let the division play out and see what happens in the next few months and go from there. But definitely take a lot of fucking time off right now. As for Max, so the whole fucking time I was watching the fight, dude, the only matchup that I want to see and that I was visualizing was him versus McGregor. I have my reasons. You know what I mean? And if it ever happens, or even on a future episode, I'll break it down and I'll tell you why. I won't say it now. But I have my fucking reasons of why exactly I want to see that fight at 155. But it's wishful thinking. It's a dream scenario, but that's the only Holloway fight that I want to see right now. And that's like a casual way of thinking. I know. And I'll be the first to admit that. But that's the only thing I want to see right now. If not, then obviously a rematch with Volkanovski if Volk beats Ortega. Because Max definitely deserves it. Regardless who wins that fight, Max deserves a title shot. But alright, that was my review episode of UFC Fight Night, Kattar versus Holloway. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you guys did, please leave a thumbs up below. Hit that subscribe button if you love my content. It's what keeps me going. It's what helps the channel out. And it just keeps me motivated, all in all. But anyways, guys, this was Nahh B Podcast. I'm your host, Nahh B, and I will see you guys soon. I'm out. Peace.